Hello and welcome to a City Voices interview with Jenny Chan for a series we call Real People, Real Stories. Jenny is an artist and her art is featured at Fountain House and Baltic Street, and she also has lived experience and a story to tell. So please, Jenny, for the next 15 minutes, tell us your story. Just tell us your story from the beginning up until the present.
Well, what triggered my mental illness actually happened in my early 20s, which actually happens to a lot of women in their early 20s. However, I did have two incidents before the age of 22. Fortunately, I was only 8 or 10 years old living in Chinatown, and I was with my brother. And we walked up the stairs to my home, and I was only 8 or 10 years old. Unfortunately, there was a teenage boy that followed me. And he followed me, and when we got up to the stairs to my apartment where my mom and dad lived, this teenage boy tried to pull my skirt up because he wanted to touch me. I wasn't scared. I got mad at him, and I threw something at him. I threw my candy bar at him, and then he ran away. But unfortunately, I was very embarrassed, and I told my family. And when I told my family, they told the school. And then I became even more embarrassed because the teacher said, I'm going to have to follow you home for a couple of days to see if we can catch this guy. So I'm not clear if they ever did catch him, but I do remember being scared at only the age of 8 or 10. And then at the age of 18, sadly, another incident happened where I was just going to high school. I went to high school in humanities in Chelsea. And unfortunately, I happened to be walking in the subway, taking the train to school. And unfortunately, there was a tunnel, a long tunnel inside the subway. So I walked down that long tunnel, and this man attacked me from behind and tried to touch my buttocks. So I screamed, and he ran away. And the best part was, at least when he tried to touch me, I was near the platform if anyone heard me asking for help. So I do have to say, at the age of 20, 22, I already had different kinds of anxiety. And sadly enough, at the age of 20, I was living by myself in Chinatown, and this man followed me. I was only 18, maybe 19 years old. And sadly, this man, this tall man, followed me right in front of my doorstep in Chinatown, pushed me from behind to attack me. And I was so scared because his eyes were very glazed. I won't forget that he looked like he was on drugs. I noticed the knife. The knife really scared me, but he was offering to either to take my wallet to mug me, or there was a chance he was trying to rape me. And then I said, I can't let him rape me or mug me. He said, let's go to the back of the building. And I said, no way. So I had to fight him. And I fought him. He cut my clothes with the knife. I struggled. I was able to open the front door and say, help. And as soon as we finished struggling, he ran away. But after that, I did not feel safe in my own home. I said, what would I do if he comes back trying to hurt me? I don't know what to expect. Is he going to come back and hurt me? And then the voices started to happen. And my family heard my voice, that I was hearing voices. My family was so worried that they sent me to a hospital in Manhattan called St. Vincent's Hospital, which is no longer open. They closed St. Vincent's years ago. But at St. Vincent's, I did not feel safe either, because I was never told to stay over somewhere with strangers. So I was in this strange hospital, and I heard people screaming and yelling. And one man said to me, are you okay? And then this other man was a staff member. He said, happy birthday, happy Easter. And that did not help me. I was so scared that night that I was told by another person, if you want, you can sign yourself out. So I signed myself out at St. Vincent's Hospital, hoping for the best. Sadly, the voices. I still heard voices in the head. So this led to my second hospitalization at Bellevue. And when I was at Bellevue, I was at Bellevue for many years, at least 2 to 3 years. And then they believed that I needed more supervision. So I was finally sent to a third hospitalization at South Beach Hospital, where I was there for another 2 or 3 years because they felt I needed supervision. And that included medication, meals, everything. And I didn't want to be there. I wanted to escape. I wanted to leave. I didn't want to be in a hospital in Staten Island, but eventually, this is the best part. They found a place for me when they thought I was doing better. So they sent me to a nursing home in New Jersey. And this place, New Jersey, was a blessing. All the staff were very nice. And it turns out they had a handful of mentally ill people at this nursing home. So I was there for another 3 years. So you can see that it's been many years for me with my mental illness. But luckily, after the third year or fourth year at the nursing home, I got a chance to move out, to be free of the hospital. And I was sent to a housing program. And this was a very good start to recover. At the housing program, I was given my own room, my own bed, and I felt secure and safe. I did have 2 to 3 roommates, which wasn't great. Some roommates would steal. Well, for example, if I had put soda in the fridge or something I like to eat, my roommates would take it. But the best part was at least I had my own room and my own bed. And then I was with them for this housing program. I was there for many years. I was with the housing program for at least 10 years. Around the year, I moved to that housing program around 2006 or 2007. But the good news was, after 10 years of being in that nursing home, I got an opportunity to move on and have my own apartment and my own bed again. So I was very happy to move on and get the opportunity to have my own apartment. And I did have one last roommate for 4 years at the housing program. And now we are neighbors and we're both living independently. I'm very glad to be part of HAI. Unfortunately, they left. Our HAI was a healing arts initiative program for the mentally ill to do art. But sadly, someone was corrupted and took money from HAI. So HAI had to close. I was also at a program called FAGS for the mentally ill. And that's how I got connected with Dan at City Voices. I volunteered at City Voices when I was at FAGS. Sadly, FAGS was also for the mentally ill, but they closed. So I moved on to 2 other programs after HAI closed. After HAI closed, I moved on to the Fountain House Gallery and the Baltic Street Wellness Center. At the Fountain House Gallery, I've had many shows. And the Baltic Street Center was kind enough to give me my first solo show this last May. I would like to let you know I am very accomplished as an artist now. I've been in over 65 shows. That includes Brooklyn, Queens, and Manhattan. And it also includes 2 special group shows. I've been in a group show at SVA, School of Visual Arts, and I've been in an art show at a group show at the MoMA Museum. So that's my story.
Wow, Jenny, that was a really good story.
I tried my best, Dan. I was nervous. I was completely nervous.
Oh no, we're still on. We're still going. We're still going.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. So can you tell us how those awful experiences with men have influenced your relationships with men?
Well, that's true. After being attacked by knife point, I did not want to date anyone. I didn't trust no one. Yeah, I'm not sure what to say about that.
Do you ever see yourself having a boyfriend?
I often wish I had a boyfriend, but sadly, I had some guy friends in high school, but it didn't work out. We ended up staying friends.
So you have some male friends, not boyfriends, but platonic friends?
Yes, I used to. I doubt ever since I was in the hospital, I lost touch with them.
Oh, okay. Do you feel like it's something that you want like badly?
It would be nice to meet someone that understood me.
Good.
Someone that might share my interest with art.
Right. Have you mentioned this to anyone? Maybe some other friends, like to help you find a good man, a good young man, a good old man, a good whatever man, or
Um,
maybe like a therapist or something?
well, right now it would be nice to meet a guy and have a relationship and have a family, which I doubt because I'm over 45. But I am happy to say my main focus is really family right now. I forgot to mention that in my story, that when I was hospitalized for all those years, it was at least 8 years, maybe more, that I was in and out of hospitals. So I lost touch with my family. My family is my main focus now. You know, I have not seen them in many years because I was in Staten Island and New Jersey and they couldn't travel to see me. But I do focus on family a lot. My mom is in a nursing home, so I try to see her twice a week. I have a sister who also is mentally ill, since mental illness runs in the family. So I try to see her. So I'm also very busy with my art. I'm very happy with my art, but I'm very busy with art as well. Shows, feature shows. And I'm very lucky to be at the Fountain House Gallery since 2016. I'm starting to sell my work. I started out selling one piece a year, and now I'm working on myself up to 3 to 4 pieces a year.
Are you happy? And if you're not completely happy, what will make you completely happy?
Oh, I'm very happy with seeing my family twice to 3, maybe 4 times a week, and I look forward to more art shows. I would ideally want everyone wants this. Everyone wants a solo show at the moment. I would like that. That would make me especially happy.
Did you say a solo show at the Museum of Modern Art?
Yes, that would be wonderful. My own big show, but then I would have to make bigger pieces. My pieces are usually 11 by 14, magic marker, color pencil, drawing. But MoMA, if I did a show at the MoMA, the pieces would definitely have to be larger.
Are you friends or do you know anyone who's had a solo show at MoMA?
Well, I did meet someone that works at my old housing program. She met him by mistake. She met him because she was looking for an apartment. I don't remember his name, but he had his own solo show at the moment. Yeah.
Okay, so like indirectly you knew someone. All right, we're coming to a close, Jenny. I hope you can, breathe. Yes, breathe. Good, good, good.
Sorry.
So now I ask that you search your heart and come up with some words that you haven't said yet, but that are really important for the viewers to hear from your mouth to their ears.
That's a tough one there. Can you repeat that?
Oh yes, like these are your closing words, something you haven't said yet, but you feel is important to impart to our readers. I mean, our listeners.
Well, it's important when you meet someone with a mental illness to realize they're still a real person. That just because they have a mental illness does not mean they're not normal. And you should help them. Find someone to help them.
What is it about help? I didn't catch that.
Oh, I'm trying to say if you meet someone mentally ill, then you realize that they're still a real person.
You mean their blood is red?
I mean, not to treat them like they're mentally ill and stigma about being mentally ill.
What is the right way and the wrong way to treat a mentally ill person?
The right way to treat a mentally illness person is to treat them with kindness and to listen.
And the wrong way?
To ignore them. You shouldn't ignore people with mental illness. They need help. And if you offer them help, then that's a chance that they'll do better.
What kind of help can the average person, what kind of help can the average person do for a mentally ill person?
Say that again?
What kind of help can the average person, the average non-mentally ill person, do to help a mentally ill person?
I'd have to say the best way to help someone with a mental illness is to treat them with kindness.